question on the Hanke project for updates, repairs, etc. to the file was getting the 3D to show. I guess the issue was that it was showing kind of all dark gray or monochrome. First of all, we do have the 3D style here. Generally, like simple shading or simple shading with shadows are going to be the two best options. If we switch to simple shading here, it looks like shadows got turned on in that view. So there's really not much of a difference between that and this. It does look like one maybe has transparency on, the other doesn't. So that's just in the 3D style setting. This can be saved to the view map as a view setting for the 3D window. But you can see in here you have settings for contours, shadows, transparency. You could make the model monochromatic. That's what we do with the white model option. I don't know if that's what's showing, but if we go to, let's go to simple shading. So you can edit this to be, to include shadows, adjust the pen weights, the colors, etc. A lot of adjustments can be made here. If the issue is that everything just kind of looks a little bit dark, the next thing to check are the surface settings. So if we look at that same from the last, oh, there it is, setting here, right? Generally speaking, surfaces, the reflection, specular glow settings, I'll just go ahead and update these. Again, this video can kind of serve as a record of changes that I've made. But generally this sort of ambient reflection, if we go 85, 85, 10, and 12, and make the specular glow, let's go to grayscale sliders and we'll make that glow a solid black. And then we can also make the emission color black. So this is going to be more true to what the JPEG was actually looking like. And we could do those same settings here. So if we bump this to 85, 85, 10, and 12, and again, let's change these to black, keeping that in line with what the original JPEG was. And let's do this last one here. Oh, wait. Sorry, it was this one right here. Same thing. Second. There we go. And we will match this up. And I can't tell you where I came across these numbers. It's just sort of been over the years of fussing around with this to get it to look right. I don't know that this is going to have an immediate effect, but those numbers should mean that that surface is close to what it looks like in the original JPEG. Now the next thing to look at, if it really is too dark, you can turn the sun shadows off here. So let's just do this. So it's no sun shadows here, and then this one, let's turn transparency is on. Here, transparency is on with no shadows. Okay, so no shadows, right? We don't see the shadows here. That can sometimes brighten it up, or you can show with shadows, and then we just look at our perspective settings. This is under the view, 3D view options and projection settings. But this isn't just the sun position. So yeah, we can line the sun up with the camera, so that we're getting whatever shadows that show where we need them to show. But if the shadows are too dark, there's a sunlight settings in the perspective settings where you can say, I want the ambient contribution and ambient light to bump up a little bit. And that can sometimes give you a little bit more vibrant, especially on the shadow facing sides, a little bit more vibrant appearance. Might need to even bump it up a little bit. That shadow is very dark still, but on the shadowed sides that can make it brighter. This might also just be a matter of having super dark JPEGs in the model, but let's go ahead and bump this up just a little bit more. They can be a bit of a hair trigger sometimes. There we're starting to see some of that board pattern show through. So playing around with those settings, the 3D style, the surface settings, and the sun intensity and ambient light can sometimes help brighten up the model a little bit.